While some haunted houses may appear a little hokey, with actors costumed as ghouls, goblins, and mad scientists, there are some locations across the world that have a reputation for being legitimately haunted. Some of these locations are cloaked in mystery, with stories that have been passed down for generations. Others are considerably younger, yet have horrible histories. Whether these locations date from the 12th or 20th centuries, they all have a fascinating past, complete with ghost sightings and scary encounters. So today, let's look at the 10 most haunted places on Earth. So, let's dig right into it. Number 10. Poveglia, Italy. The bubonic plague appeared in Poveglia in 1348, and the island became an exile for people who had the symptoms, and they were essentially left there to die. On the island, there was also a psychiatric institution where physicians conducted bizarre experiments. According to residents, 50% of the soil is human ash because of the number of individuals who were burnt there, and the chimes of the bell can be still heard while visiting the island. Number 9. Salem, Massachusetts, USA. Of course, Salem is the location of the famed witch trials, in which 20 individuals, largely women, were killed for consorting with the devil and casting spells on the town's children. Bridget Bishop, the first woman to be executed, is said to haunt the Lyceum Bar and Grill, which was built on the location of her apple orchard. Giles Corey, a rich farmer, was another renowned figure in the trials. Because the property of the guilty was shared among the rest of the community, it is now thought that Corey was a target because of his riches. Witnesses have claimed seeing his wrathful spirit roaming the city's oldest cemetery, Howard Street Cemetery. The House of Seven Gables had also been the location of paranormal activity, with an overall oppressive atmosphere and a rocking chair that appears to move on its own. Number 8. Penang War Museum, Penang, Malaysia. Penang War Museum is known locally as Ghost Hill and is listed by National Geographic as one of Asia's most haunted attractions. It was built in the 1930s as a defense fortification and was utilized by the British until the Japanese invaded in 1941. It was later used as a jail for Japanese adversaries as well as a location for torture and beheadings. One of the spirits reported to roam the place is a particularly vicious Japanese commander. Number 7. Mary King's Close, Edinburgh, UK. Under the old town of Edinburgh lies a maze of little tunnels and passageways where sellers would market their products to passerby in the 1600s. Because Edinburgh was so densely populated, the close was particularly hard hit by the plague. After being abandoned, it was closed off to the public in the 18th century, and legends of hauntings arose. The close can now be visited on a guided tour. A tour guide has claimed scores of cases where passengers have felt unwell, had a hand grip them, or had unexpected shivers. The same guide has even reported a coin or tiny metal item being hurled at him as he was exiting a room. Number 6. Lawang Sewu, Indonesia. In reference to its architectural design, the name Lawang Sewu is Javanese and means "thousand doors." It, like the Penang War Museum, was taken over by the Japanese during World War II and repurposed into a jail, with the basement of Building B utilized for executions. People come here for the ghost stories, which include the spirit of a young Dutch lady who was claimed to have committed suicide in the building, headless ghouls wandering around, and a kuntilanak, a vampiric ghost in Indonesian and Malay mythology. Number 5. The Ancient Ram Inn, Wooden Under Edge, UK. This restaurant and hotel, which was founded in the 1100s, has regular customers who line up to be terrorized by screaming and shifting furniture. The present owners think that the home was built on the top of a previous pagan burial place where children were sacrificed. Caroline Humphreys, who has lived in the house for more than 30 years, is used to seeing people running from images of a tiny girl, children's cries, and sensations of being forced down onto the bed by a male demon. Number 4. Bhangarh Fort, Rajasthan, India. Bhangarh Fort, also known locally as Bhoot Bangla, the Fort of Ghosts, was a tiny city made up of temples, gates, and palaces at the foot of a mountain that was abandoned around 1783. There are two tales that explain Bhangarh's fate: a curse from a holy man who prohibited the height of buildings to be taller than his own. He is claimed to have cursed the entire town when one of the buildings threw a shadow over his own residence. Another legend tells of a magician who fell in love with the princess of Bhangarh. When the princess thwarted his spell to make her fall in love with him, the spiteful wizard cursed the city. Today, it is supposed that anyone who enters the city at night will never return, and paranormal activity is thought to be centered around the dancers Haveli and Jahari Bazaar. Number 3. Aradale Asylum, Ararat, Victoria, Australia. The Aradale Asylum, a village within a village, was founded in 1867. It is thought that around 13,000 individuals died there, and not always from natural causes. Tours of the site highlight Nurse Carrie's ghost, who is said to haunt the woman's wing. Unexpected feelings, being touched, feeling cold, drafts, moving through the structure for no apparent cause, and loud bangs from unoccupied portions of the building have been reported by visitors. A visit to this asylum will make you feel like you're in a horror movie. Number 2. Alcatraz, USA. Alcatraz, the famed jail that housed some equally notable inmates, including gangster Al Capone, has received accounts of paranormal activity from visitors, former inmates, and guards. In the 1980s, while waiting for a tour group, Leon Whitey Thompson, a former convict who subsequently provided tours of the jail, claimed to see a big, towering figure at the end of Michigan Avenue, and said it was the spirit of an inmate who had been acquainted with named Johnny House. Other visitors have reported hearing screams and wailing, and a woman's figure was reportedly photographed through a jail window by tourists in San Francisco. Number 1. Myrtles Plantation, USA. The Myrtles Plantation, rumored to be built on the site of an old Indian burial place, has been labeled one of America's most haunted estates. According to legend, the mansion has been the site of 10 murders. The spirit of a former slave with a green turban has been seen, as has a haunted mirror that allegedly contains the souls of Sarah Woodruff and her children, who used to dwell in the house. The ghost of William Winter, who was allegedly shot on the front porch, is equally eerie. His spirit has been seen crawling up the steps and disappearing into thin air at the 17th step, moaning in anguish from the bullet wound. Isn't it creepy enough? So there you have it. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Until next time.